Responsible pet ownership starts with keeping your pet safely at home. PetSafe's radio fence pet containment systems provide your pet with freedom and safety while costing thousands less than conventional fencing. It's quick and easy to install, reliable and safe, and with proper training, a very effective solution. Here's how it works. A transmitter plugs into a standard outlet and emits a radio signal that travels along an underground wire. A lightweight receiver is worn on your pet's collar, which picks up the radio signal and alerts your pet as he nears the underground boundary. Once your pet is properly trained, he'll learn to stay in the boundaries designated by the radio fence. Installing your pet containment system is quick and easy. The following portion of the video is intended only as a quick reference guide for a typical installation. Please refer to the owner's manual included with your system for detailed instructions. Be sure to watch this video in its entirety and read the manual thoroughly before you begin installation. Step 1 is to plan your layout on paper. Step 2, mount the transmitter in a dry location, like your garage. Step 3, assemble the receiver collar and insert the batteries. Step 4, lay the boundary wire above ground in the approximate area you wish to bury it. Step 5, connect the wires to the transmitter, following the directions in the owner's manual, and test the system. If the collar beeps as you approach the boundary, the system is working. Step 6, bury the wire 1 to 3 inches deep around the perimeter you have designated. And the final step for installation is to mark the boundaries by placing flags every 10 feet at the point where a beep is detected. Now you've installed and activated your PetSafe radio fence, following the directions in the manual that accompanied it. So what's next? Now comes the most important part, training your pet, because radio fence is a training device. Unless you follow every step in sequence exactly as instructed, your pet may learn how to escape the system, and if that happens, training could take much longer to complete. We'll take you through our proven training process step by step. Be sure to first watch the entire video, then read the training portion of your radio fence manual before you start training your pet. Remember that some pets learn faster than others. It's fine to extend any part of the training schedule if you sense your pet isn't quite ready for the next phase of training. But don't shorten it, even for a fast learner. Keep these important rules in mind. For radio fence to work properly, all family members must take part in the training. And remember that training tires your pet, so keep training sessions short. During the first 2 weeks of training, you must be sure that your pet does not leave the yard. This can be accomplished by supervision and the use of a leash. Never leave his receiver collar on between training sessions, and never leave him alone with the receiver collar until he's fully trained. If your pet becomes frightened of the training at any point, stop. Remove the receiver collar and start again the next day, and then train him every other day rather than daily. Also, we'll tell you to praise your pet at certain points. That praise isn't just to reward him, it's part of the training. For the first day of training, you'll need the temporary boundary flags and the receiver and collar from your radio fence box. You'll also need a 6-foot training lead and a regular collar or training collar. If you don't already have these items, you can find them at most any pet supply store. You've correctly placed the boundary flags 10 feet apart around the entire perimeter at the point where your pet will receive a correction. These flags are your pet's visual guide. They must be in place. Next, set the receiver collar from your radio fence kit around your dog's neck. Or if you prefer, adapt a collar of your choice following the kit instructions for attaching the receiver and probes. Notice that there are two sets of probes, shorter ones for short-haired dogs, longer ones for long-haired dogs. Be sure to use the correct length probes. Put the collar on so the probes are touching your pet's skin directly beneath his neck, but not too tight. You don't want to harm him. Make certain you can easily pass a finger between the probes and your pet's skin. And if your pet is still growing, remember to adjust the collar as he grows. Now remove the receiver collar. He should be wearing only his regular collar and lead. Hold your pet's lead in one hand and the receiver collar in the other. Walk him up to the boundary flag, shake the flag, and give him a strong no command, allowing him to hear the beeping of the receiver collar. Immediately lead him back to the safe zone and give him plenty of praise. Repeat this process around the entire perimeter, remembering to keep the training session short. From this point on, in every training session, your pet will be wearing the receiver collar. Now place the receiver collar on your pet, along with his regular collar and lead. Let him walk out of the safe zone on his own. Don't lead him there, or you'll confuse him. As he walks out of the safe zone, he'll receive a correction from the system. When you hear the correction beep, immediately pull him into the safe zone and praise and pet him. As before, repeat this process around the entire perimeter, remembering to stop for a break every 10 or 15 minutes. Beginning the next day and every day of the first week, repeat this entire exercise in exactly the same way at least once a day. You should see your pet beginning to avoid the boundary flags on his own, and that means he's learning. But don't skip any part of the training, and don't skip days, no matter how fast he's learning. Just continue the same exercise, but with one important difference. Each day, remove every other boundary flag until they're all gone. When all the flags have been removed, you can begin to allow your dog gradually increasing unsupervised time, with the system activated and the receiver collar on. If you need to leave the boundary with your pet, remove the receiver collar and take him out of the yard only in a car, and begin to check your pet's skin regularly. If the receiver collar causes any irritation, remove the collar for a few days. It's time for the final phase of training, easy to accomplish, but very important. Once your pet has completed the first month of training, it's time to teach him to leave the boundary through an imaginary gate. To do this, remove his receiver collar and replace it with his regular collar and lead. Always lead him out of the boundary at the exact same location. This will be his imaginary gate. Be sure to have every member of the family take part in walking him through his imaginary gate. Otherwise, he'll associate leaving the boundary only with you. And that's all there is to establishing your pet's exit gateway. So what's left? Well, now you simply review the boundaries with your pet once every 2 weeks by using the same steps from the basic training exercise. This review will reinforce the training with your pet, ensuring the effectiveness of your radio fence pet containment system. At PetSafe, we're proud of our humane products and training methods. They're the result of years of research, testing, and concern for pet safety. Call our toll-free number if you have questions about radio fence, or to request information about other PetSafe products. Be sure to validate the full unconditional warranty of your new radio fence by promptly completing and mailing the warranty card that accompanies every PetSafe product.